Former Trump transition team member, Representative Marsha Blackburn, joins me now. Congressman, thank you for being here.
Good to see you, Cheryl. Thank you.
I want to ask you about what we're seeing in Florida with these companies. So Chevron responded to our request, saying, quote, Chevron wants to be clear that we have zero tolerance for unlawful price gouging at all of our independently owned branded stations. We're working closely with the Florida Attorney General's office to ensure branded stations follow the law. Was Pam Bondi, in your opinion, right to point out this problem?
Of course she's correct to point out this problem, because what we should be hearing from companies at this point with Harvey and with Irma and with Jose and with Katia that is right behind it, they should be saying, how can we help, not how much can we make off of this. And of course we know that your online companies like Amazon are doing data mining, and that prices differ from one person to another. And then you have these companies like Chevron. They cannot do the price gouging during this time. I think she's right to call it out. She's right to put a stop to it early on. United, I think there were no words for what happened there, and for their response to be that they had improved the customer experience. This is about saving lives and getting people out of harm's way, and we are all concerned about what is happening with Irma. As we continue to watch the cleanup and the recovery from Harvey, these are tragic situations. They are life and death situations. And you just want to say, come on, people, work with us, because this is about keeping people safe and getting them out of harm's way.
Well, you know, your state, Tennessee, could be in Irma's path. That's looking more and more likely. Are you concerned about price gouging in your own state?
Of course, you're always concerned about that, and we're always very watchful. And as we watch the path of the storm, and whether it takes the East Coast, the West Coast, comes up through the middle of Florida, and how far that cone spreads out, of course we're going to be watchful of that, and we're going to be standing by ready to help with Irma, just as we have been ready to help with Harvey.
All right. Well, there's something else I wanted to ask you about while I have you here. Billionaire Mark Cuban complimenting President Trump on reaching across the aisle to forge a deal with Democrats. He said this only on Fox Business. Listen.
So what do you make of this arrangement the president just had with Democrats?
Oh, it's pure classic Donald Trump. I thought it was really smart. You know, the thing about being a salesperson like President Trump is, you want to keep deals alive. The biggest fear a salesperson has is that a deal would die. And so working with somebody, even if it's only for a short term, even if it's with the Democrats, keeps the deal alive. And I thought that was very smart.
Congressman, do you agree with Mark Cuban? Was this really the art of the deal that we saw play out yesterday?
It was indeed the art of the deal. You know, it's not a deal I liked, and it's something that I don't want all of this coupled together. But what he did was to basically say, okay, if the House and Senate can't come to a resolution and give me a package, then he turned to Pelosi and Schumer and said, tell me what you have to offer. And they said, this is what it is, and he took it. And my hope is that we're going to double down on our efforts to do tax reform and health care, infrastructure, broadband expansion, and get some things done. But you got to say, the American people are frustrated. My constituents are frustrated. Some of us House members are pretty frustrated too, and the president finally said, you know, come on, somebody, let's move, let's get going.
Well, I mean, I have to ask you, and I actually heard you on another program say that, well, thanks for pushing and kicking the can down the road to the month of December when it came to the debt ceiling and raising and that CR. But so we know how you feel about that. But, you know, at the end of the day, tax reform is one of the biggest things I think could be a bipartisan deal to be made. If we're going to talk about deals, tax cuts would benefit all, both Democrats and Republicans. Do you see a path forward to working across the aisle with Democrats?
I do, and I have to tell you, I think the president sent a pretty clear message yesterday. And I think there are many of us who have said we better double down on our efforts to make this tax code flatter, fairer, and simpler for the individual American taxpayer, and to get these business rates down and provide tax relief for American small businesses and companies and individuals who are begging to get some relief in this process. So yes, we need to do that, and in order to kind of double down on the tax relief, we need to make certain that we do health care and that there is relief in there from that individual mandate and that employer mandate so that you get those rates down. And Cheryl, the clock is ticking. Time is running out. These are all components that need to be addressed. And quite frankly, you cannot blame the president for the action that he took yesterday. And it serves as a message to get to work, get this done, because the American people are tired of talk. They are ready for action. They want tax relief. They want relief from the Affordable Care Act. They want to see infrastructure issues addressed. And rural America wants broadband so that they have access to high-speed internet.
Yeah, I know that would be good for Tennessee as well. Congressman, thank you very much.
Thanks, Cheryl.